Recoil. I taste it every time. Thick as a pool of diesel fuel or varnish. Smooth as smoke O's rolling tarnished down my tonsils. A slow one reads my tongue. How I love the air inside a room that wields a gun. It makes the air taste better. Watch the body's possibilities increase by one, then two. First as victim, then assassin. The first time I felt a firearm, neither shot nor shoot were options. The barrel, bolt, and butt were scattered like a crime scene. Someone had dismantled it, hidden half under the guest bedroom's box springs. My brother simply fished the barrel out, then plugged his thumb into the butt end, crammed red paper bouquet style out from the muzzle. He brushed my face, shouted bang, then punched me in the stomach. It would be years before I shot one. Boy Scout camp, I'm splayed out sniper style and sighting bowling pins at 50 yards. The first shot bucks my forearm up. The gun's butt stamps a bruise into my cheekbone. A powder burn, a watermark. How could I cleanse it without igniting more powder? I learned then that whatever magic bullets enact, their one thought, keep moving. The hand also recalls the reaction. Ghost round, shadow slicing through the shooter. Its only trace, ash crisping the nostrils, sometimes a tinny spin, not music, not crackling, washing the eardrums. It's truth. I am alive. It's lie. I can breathe equal parts, sex and danger. To this day, I'm weak to its seduction. Whispers will slip from the goose gun over my best friend's mantle. A cabin's rifles and pistols line up like organ pipes, muffled. Once, I woke up at a girlfriend's house, drunk, and found instead of aspirin, a black 6-shooter. It was unloaded, cold, and as I rolled it, cowboy style, along my thigh, then pointed it menaceless at the mirror, I felt myself more naked, small, while the world heightened. The bath mat's hairs split my toes with moisture. I saw the wall paint flaking off like eucalyptus. I knew without looking the morning had warmed colorless, and she would love me right through it. I let the pistol swing, limp from the pivot of my finger. Its sight tapped the glass. I swung gently from its trigger. Hi everyone, welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming out on a very cold night when there's live music just down the street and in front of you. You're all better people for it. And we also had live music, so wonderfully performed by Joel Henderson. I can't quite catch his eyes, but I really enjoyed it, so it's very good to hear his words. And I thank InKY and Linnell for that wonderful introduction, and Aaron. This is such a wonderful resource to have in Louisville, so I'm quite honored to be a part of it. And I encourage you all to come out. I believe, is it next month, November, that my fiction writing counterpart at U of L? Oh, I'm sorry, she's coming in December, Heather Slomsky. Other good readers coming in November. Heather Slomsky will be reading some of my work. I'll just read a few poems here tonight. Equivalence. Concerning equivalence. Lost amid the Roman catacombs, a priest will have his candle flame until one glow doubles and redoubles on the tongues of terracotta pots. a lesson the split earthworm learns as he stands twice the chance of being split again. A wise move to reproduce, for two worms slither twice as far as one, which explains why warheads unlock themselves above a cityscape, thus brokering a wider, higher bloom. Their sanguine hues and party stars spread throughout the ether. Are fewer survivors what this division equals? How does such backwards algebra apply to the holy, whose wafers cracked in eighths constitute a body, though whole ones add up to crackers? Furthermore, how am I standing here, byproduct of bifurcating cells, each one teased in two, till too many pulls, spelled embryo, and one final tug divided me from other? I like to write poems about movies sometimes. And I've written a number of them about Fellini films. So if anyone is familiar with Fellini's Satyricon, I have a poem here about that. And if you're not, you'll get to know it a little bit through the poem. There's a bit of Latin that shows up in the poem, but I think most of it gets sort of translated as we go, except for this one word, spago, which is a great one to know. It means eunuch. Yeah. Tell your kids. Fellini's Satyricon. Fast forward to Trimalchio, the sausage platter shot. Then scroll through your special features. Can we slow-mo the banquet scene just when the meat explodes and its greasy bits speckle the stage players, Nubians, and albino maitre d'? Nota bene. A certain exotic otherness marks Fellini's cast of extras. Consult the shooting script for insight into this mixed company, what the Romans called farrago, and we translate as hodgepodge or cattle fodder, and go about our merry way. In Nero's day, the entertainment came scroll-bound, snapped into hexameters, and set for court poets to recite. Enter Titus Petronius, the elegantiae arbitor, an author seen by Nero's ministers as a nemesis, a culture snob, or seedy bard whose other talents remained satiric, from the Latin satura, perhaps a play on satyr, though Brond et al. Contend this etymology plays too heavy on the Greek. Turn then to Juvenal, who coins farrago, see Satire 1, line 86, to describe his little books of verse, though other Latin scribes provide variant etymologies. In Diomedes' remaining scrolls, he defines satura, think saturate, as, quote, a sausage eaten during religious scenarios, the inside stuffed with various ingredients. A line cited from Varro, ergo quid est satura. Rewind now. Fellini's on site in Rome, canvassing the carnivals for 100 human oddities to play Roman demigods and generals. Nota bene, in the series temple scene, Electa, translation carriage, wobbles on the burly arms of 6 spago as they herald the hero of the Battle of Quadragissimo, a role given to a quadruple amputee. See Satura. Don't bother to trace this shot, accessed from the fragment of a tale that's otherwise non-narrative. Better to blame Petronius, whose unsightly suicide, wrist slit, sewn up, then slit. See Tacitus. Left the scrolls of the Satyricon to the worms. The undigested parts became a playground of forms, prose novel, picaresque odyssey, a farrago of verse. Scholars stitch it up, trim the fray, but like Hollywood scenery, the fake clouds still look fake. So with what we've seen, what have we learned? Conclusion 1, fractured texts are otherworldly. The classics, a nebulous galaxy where brave men go to die. Questions for future analysis: how do I cite the booklet for my DVD? Should your average screenplay include all, a la the sausage chain, or is the Satyricon just bloated scrawl?